Live.
What's up, Don?
How are you? Happy, I think it's Wednesday.
Is it
right?
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday in Florida. It's an evening shoot tonight, a night shoot. We saw the sunset. It was beautiful. We have Amber's cousin Michael on with us tonight. It's bound to be an absolute treat and thrilling ride with Michael.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks
I
for
feel
coming.
honored.
Thanks for driving over to see us.
Very honored. I came for the pizza, to be honest with you.
Yeah. How was it?
Well, we haven't had it yet.
Oh,
but
I thought you had a
sorry,
slice.
Not yet.
Oh
no.
shit. Michael is gonna stay with us tonight and tomorrow night, and we're real happy you can make it over.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we have a pretty special bourbon, and we have a pretty special cigar tonight. It's not the one I said we were gonna do. I don't know if I said what we were gonna do, but we changed it up again, as always.
As we do.
So Don, let's check out the bourbon. Which the lady at the liquor store, Michael, she was like, "I've never seen this before." They just brought it in. First time she's even seen it on the shelf.
Okay.
Yeah, so we picked it up because it's got a 96 rating from Cigars and Spirits magazine, and then on the backside, it's a 93 point from Tasting Panel. So we don't really know anything about this, except I went on their site just to find out how old they are. They were founded in 2021 by two actors that I've honestly never heard of before.
Two actors.
Ian Sondhinder or something.
Interesting.
And Paul Wagner or something.
So what's this called? Brothers Bond.
Brothers Bond, yeah.
Do you think that's like the two? They're brothers in a film or something?
They might be, or they're just best friends.
Could be.
96, is that a high rating, or 93? Is that
a 96?
Exceptional or 96?
96 is a pretty good rating, and it's from Cigar and Spirits magazine.
Yeah.
So they definitely paired it up with a cigar, and I think the cigar that we have tonight, Michael, Don doesn't smoke, so it's me and you smoking the cigars. It should be a treat with this bourbon. And I'll tell you, the past couple cigar pairings that we've done, we fucking nailed it.
They've been nice.
They were so good.
High expectations coming into this.
Man, I should have calmed it down a little bit. So Michael is a football coach in Belgrade. And how many professional football players have you guys produced out
Our
of Belgrade?
hometown has put out about 80 professional football players into the NFL, which is pretty impressive for a town of 18,000 people.
That's crazy, man.
Yes.
It's got to be all the sugar cane you guys have, right?
That and chasing the muck rabbits. And, you witnessed it yourself coming down here a winter or two ago and doing a little, gator hunting, as we call it.
Absolutely.
They breed them.
They do.
It's in the muck. That's what they always say.
It's pretty awesome.
And it truly is. It's a joy and a privilege to be a part of, little part of turning these young men into boys. And watching them go off and play professional football. It's
super cool.
It's great. It's good stuff,
awesome.
man. So
they tried to pick me up for professional football.
Yeah, what happened?
Wow, they wanted me to be the water boy, but
he got injured.
I said I got injured. I had surgery.
Leg injury.
It's not that dark.
Yeah.
It's not a real dark bourbon.
We'll let our guests have the special flamingo.
The flamingo glass. It's great.
I would like to say first and foremost, welcome to South Florida. All of you guys viewing this back home, it's probably freezing your coconuts off that palm tree right there. Right now, it's a balmy 79 degrees here.
It's pretty nice out. It's pretty nice.
The nighttime doesn't do it justice. You should see it in the daytime.
Yeah.
They showed me pictures, and I was like, "That's not real." But welcome to South Florida.
This is a real nice scenery.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Let's smell this and see what we get.
So it's 80 proof.
It's an 80 proof.
Mm-hmm.
It smells fruity.
Mm-hmm.
Like I almost smell like grapes coming off of it to an extent, like a Concord or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the flamingos are flowing me off, but I was thinking it was more 80 proof, 90 proof.
Vanilla.
Yeah, it smells good.
Yeah, it does smell good.
it's got a lot of expression there for just the 80 proof.
Brothers Bond. Is that what it is again?
Yep.
80 proof.
Can I drink it
Yeah,
yet?
let's try it out. Let's try a sip.
Salute.
Salute.
Cheers.
Yes.
Thanks for
welcome
coming
to
over,
South
Michael.
Florida. Thanks for having me.
Definitely peppery.
Yep.
A little more than I expected.
It's a great flavor.
It is a
Smooth.
real nice flavor.
Smooth.
It's got like the fruit kind of gets jammy a little bit.
Yeah.
Good flavor, yeah, for sure. It's pretty robust. There's a lot of things in there that are kind of working together pretty well.
The flavor's sticking around too on the tongue.
Yeah.
On the back of the tongue. It's definitely got a little sweet flavor, but like it's still sticking around, which is crazy, right? It's like lubricating your tongue with flavor. Shit.
I'll drink to that.
Salute.
That pepper character sticking around in the front a little bit.
It is a little bit. A little bit.
I don't think I told you guys this, but this is they're a company out of Arkansas, Fort Smith, Arkansas, but this is distilled in Indiana and likely bottled in Indiana. It's probably a product of MTG or whatever that massive company up in Indiana is. But basically, they'll craft your recipe for you, they'll age it for you. You pick out all the components, and they do a nice job.
Yeah, I'm not I drink Michelob Ultra generally and Busch Light, and that's why I love the son-in-law because he's a beer distributor. But as soon as I found that out, I said, "Welcome to the family." But I'm not a big bourbon drinker, but usually a lot of time it's like overwhelming.
Yeah,
and it's like heat, and you can feel it in the taste, and very, very smooth, very smooth.
it is a smooth bourbon. I really like it. I really like it. So, Michael, one of the things that we do on the show also is we tell, a little story about, whatever, and I know you just got done telling us a story. So you're going to have to just bring up a story at some point, interrupt us. And we want to hear something really good. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about my one-time gator hunt. I did go fishing too and didn't catch a damn thing.
And he missed on the first shot.
I did miss the first shot. It was the gun. It was the sight, though.
That's what he blamed it on.
It was the sight.
It was probably dark.
No, it was definitely 4:00 in the afternoon. The sun may have been getting in my eyes a little
that's
bit.
what
Never mind.
Yeah, it's an excuse. Excuses
Could
like
be.
assholes. Everybody has one,
But back up home, we don't have gators, so we don't hunt for gators. And that to say I was actually out there gator hunting legally,
Yes,
was something that I like to tell the story of.
It's never a dull moment when you come to South Florida. So
Man, I'll tell you what, in Belglade too, they're bred differently. Football definitely crazy mofos up there.
yes, they are.
Like, you guys are just, it's amazing. I love it. I love coming out there.
Well, the biggest thing, everybody from the South in general, but especially in small towns where everybody, you see your neighbor at the grocery store, you see him at the football game, you see him driving down the road. But we're brought up differently, especially with manners.
Absolutely.
When my mom first came down from Ohio, this is in 60-ish, 65-ish. And somebody said yes, ma'am, to her. She took it as offense. But down south, we're taught that. And if you don't say it, you're being disrespectful.
Yeah.
So we're brought up differently down here, and it's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
When you deal with a small town, and like you said, in my area, West Palm Beach is 30 minutes away, Wellington.
Yep.
So you can still live far enough out in a rural community and then get in your car and drive 30 miles and you're in Wellington, West Palm Beach area. And
it's a nice area. That whole area that you guys are in is really nice. This is on the Gulf side it's a lot different actually. And I feel like the whole personalities are totally different over here as well. And I think it's a lot more of outside influence more than anything. You guys have, the humble homesteads, and they've been there for generations and generations. And this is just anybody who came across some money comes down here,
they're all moving up, and this is paradise.
Oh, this is beautiful. It's beautiful.
Who wouldn't want
Make no mistake. We got the water in the background off the coastal river just slamming. Today, this dolphin or shark or something was right down. We ran up from this deck. We ran down the steps, and we could see it, and it must have it was trying to catch a fish or something, right?
Yeah, it was chasing.
It jumped out of the water almost onto the stone patio we have down there. It was crazy.
Yep.
It was absolutely cool. So cool.
We
So
talked
this is
about it.
airing off a little bit now.
It is kind of more like cinnamon notes, but it's like a sweet cinnamon, not,
And it
not
cooled
spicy.
way down.
Yeah.
Like you barely have any pepper now. It's not bitey. This is a real nice smooth bourbon. I think how much was this done?
It's $37.
Oh, 37.
Yep.
Okay. So I was thinking it was more like 60, and it's not a $60 bourbon.
Right.
That's for sure.
Yeah, no, we saw it on the shelf with that, with those scores at $37. We said, well,
Kind of
why
hard
not?
to turn that down.
It
Totally
is.
worth
It is.
trying.
Past it, you know.
For something we'd never seen. The clerk, just hadn't seen it yet out there either. So pretty new product.
My cousin Chris Versali, he is a fine cigar smoker just like myself, and he said, "Get to the point, guys.
Okay.
Like, what are we smoking tonight?" So
He also wants to know if you're eating the gators. That's huh?
Oh,
I
yes,
mean,
of
we
course.
did absolutely 100%. And
Yeah.
not only
no
that,
waste, no waste.
Michael hooked me up with a gator farm when I was down here, and I have the inside connect to get the full gators
Yes.
up at the bar, and I just haven't done it yet. We
Yes.
didn't have a gator night yet, but I'm ordering a couple of
Yes.
those bitches, and we're gonna cook them up.
We can also make purses, shoes, belts,
Yeah.
keychains.
That's pretty great.
Nothing goes to waste.
Yeah. Make Amber
So-
a purse.
Yes.
Tonight we have the 100th anniversary. My Father Le Bijou, 1922, and listen, they say, and I'm going to pass this off to
Please
Michael
do.
too.
Please do.
So when you smell it at first and you're starting to get into it, it should have a nice coffee type flavor or smelling notes. And even surprisingly enough, that fruity kind of, I don't know if it's grape or raisin or somewhere in between the two of them. And it does. I mean, it smells pretty good. It's a
I know
nice
you don't
smelling
smoke it,
cigar.
but
I appreciate that.
it's got a very, very distinct smell to it.
Mhm.
Don likes smelling
Not overwhelming.
when we
Right.
light them up. Like, there's so many times that just the side stream aroma will change the complexity of the
Totally.
of the bourbon.
Mhm.
And when we smoke it, I mean, it's totally different, and you can taste it when it's a good pairing or not. But right off the bat, it's a real dark Nicaraguan cigar. It's wrapped with Nicaraguan leaves, and it should be pretty good. We were actually at the cigar lounge last night, and this lady comes in, opens her locker, and this is what she pulled out.
Yeah.
And she said, "You guys should try this."
Mhm.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, she
fun.
And it's
remember,
actually got a little
I think she
cool
said this
tab.
was her daily smoker, didn't she?
Right, and that's
She did.
crazy that she had no clue that you guys enjoy this or do this,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden walked in and said, "This is what you guys need."
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this one. Chris, don't go out and buy this yet. We'll tell you if it's good, if it's worth it. Oh, here, I like the bottom of this for you.
Very ornate. The labels on here. It's got a little piece
The-
of ribbon for the 100-year.
and I don't know if I really like the label that they have on here.
Yeah.
It's kind of very feminine looking. Not that that's a bad thing,
thing.
but it's kind of like,
Thank you, sir.
It's kind of like a Victorian wallpaper.
it is like Victorian wallpaper. It's like we're smoking something from 1922.
I'll hold this close
Which I
to
guess
you
is
so
the
you
point,
can get
right?
the aroma
Appreciate
and
Yeah, so I mean, smoke doesn't smell like the wrapper, right?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. There you go.
Ran out of butane. Whoa, wow.
Yeah.
So
You could take me now, baby. Take me now, Jesus. I'm good.
this is a very
Love it.
nice draw
Yes.
on this cigar.
Yes.
And It's definitely been kept at a nice humidity. We bought it last night, so it hasn't been that long. I didn't have enough time to mess it up.
Well, humidity in Florida is a huge thing, though. It's like,
Mhm.
my hair goes like this every sudden we get out in this humidity, I mean, 97% humidity, my hair goes, but very, very, very smooth.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a real nice tasting cigar. It's full of flavor.
I can't believe you don't smoke.
Mm-mm.
Never have.
Never have.
Mhm.
I mean, is it against the beer man's code or
Not
something?
at all.
Or, okay.
Not at all.
All right. I mean,
It definitely tastes pretty earthy. I didn't
Yeah.
mean to cut you off there,
no,
Michael.
you're good. You're good.
It's an earthy flavor. It's gonna pair real nice. I can't wait to have a sip of the brothers bond with it. Right off the bat, I can tell like the brothers bond doesn't have like a whole lot of complexity to it. Doesn't have a lot of flavor. It's very smooth and goes down pretty quick. And this cigar is kind of the same way, to
Yes,
be
it
honest
is.
with you.
No.
I think together it might pull something out that we're not tasting,
Interesting.
but it's definitely not as much as I would have expected
Mhm.
by what we heard last night.
Mhm.
It's a $13 cigar, and yeah, the other one I had picked, I was going to do 1926. Rocky Patel.
Right.
Rocky
Versus the
Patel.
Padron.
Oh no, Padron 1926. And I smoked it earlier, and I'm glad I didn't do it because it was a tough cigar. It was a real tough cigar.
I'm glad I'm not disappointed then,
Mhm.
because,
This one's a nice.
you
This one's a little better for the show. Okay, so like I just took a drag and it's tasting pretty good. So let's see what we got.
smooth.
Okay, so it brings out some flavor. It brings out like a real deep cocoa almost. Do you taste that?
Coffee.
Like
It's
a coffee.
Something.
Like a deep coffee, like a deep coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee
Another
cocoa.
way to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's actually pretty
And
nice.
I think that's what brings it out. The bourbon.
Yeah, for sure. This is a good pairing.
Yes, it is.
This is definitely
very,
a good pairing.
very good.
Yeah, it tastes pretty good. It's worth it.
Kept peppers come back in the whiskey, right up front. I don't know if it was just hiding for a second or if the cigar brings that out, but and then there's a lot more sweetness. Rounding it out.
Let me try that again.
You want to get close to it again? I think that's what's
Okay.
bringing it out right there,
It
because
probably
we
is.
got to put the two together.
The
You
earthiness.
can't just have one and not the other. I mean, it just it brings them together.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the show, right?
Is that what this is?
Listen, this is. You're right. Like it's getting sweeter.
Yeah.
As it opens up, it's definitely bringing out a coffee flavor
Yes,
Uh-huh.
in the
does.
pairing in the cigar, which isn't unusual, but it's a different kind of. It's more of an earthy coffee flavor. It's not that, but it is kind of sweet. It's unique.
Yeah, the wrapper there smells very earthy, dark. Smoke, not as much. And I guess the flavor there kind of right in the middle.
It's on the lower side.
Mhm.
It really is. It's smoking like a lighter cigar. Now I'll say like it's a little windy too, but it's not burning too great.
No.
And I think I'm gonna have a problem with it when I get down a little deeper.
Yep. Same.
And yours is the same way.
Same way.
And it's definitely the leaf that they're using. And you can see some grains going in there and stuff. So I think overall $13 cigar,
It's not bad.
it's
at all.
not bad.
No.
And especially with a $36 bourbon.
What questions do your viewers have here that they're asking right now? They're
Well-
jealous to be in the warm weather.
Definitely jealous of us being in the warm weather. Chris is telling me what cigars he was smoking yesterday or last weekend, and he's gonna have to come to Williamsport and be on the show. I keep on wanting to bring Chris and his brother Mike over,
Uh-huh.
but each separately or both together, it doesn't matter. Mike's a DJ on a radio station.
Very nice.
And I have a couple good acts coming on at the bar.
Okay.
A couple good bands that he might want to come over and check out. But yeah, Chris, why don't you let us know what you want to have, and let's bring you up to Williamsport in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure that we have the bourbon and the cigar ready for us. That goes for anybody else out there too. Get on YouTube, like our channel on YouTube, subscribe to it, like our MFA weekend cigar bourbon and cigar pairing on Facebook. Check us out, and have your friends come on too. Usually we have a little studio.
Yes,
Michael.
Yes,
and we'll take whoever's phone is with us, and we'll put them on live as well, so that all their people are on watching too.
Okay.
Now nobody watches you, so I.
Well, the biggest problem I'm seeing right here is you're doing this in South Florida, where it's 89 degrees right now, and the water and the palm trees are blowing in the background, and you're telling them to come on into a place that's very cold right now.
Yeah, it's in the 50s.
In the
Today was in the
50s.
50s.
Okay.
It wasn't
Okay.
bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
It's warming up.
If you would pan over to the pool area over here in the intercoastal, you would never want to come on a show in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You would demand he flies you here to South Florida to be on the show. I mean,
Still get me in trouble now.
well, I'm just saying, twist your arm a little bit, but
First one to ask, I'll fly you down tomorrow.
there you go.
Just joking. I'm gonna make you suffer through it. We might actually do another one tomorrow, just
Well,
because.
we're gonna have to now because in the daylight when they can see paradise right here.
Mm-hmm. We can pair a cigar up with Michelob Ultra tomorrow
Yes, we can, and pizza.
and pizza
right.
in the morning.
Cold pizza and
Coffee. That would be kind of funny too.
Yeah.
Do it like pairing different coffees up with a cigar, your morning routine. You should actually do that one. It's a good idea.
You haven't done it yet?
Mm.
Okay.
I mean, I do it every morning,
Well,
but I haven't done the show on it. Yeah.
Well-
So Don, what are you thinking here with this bourbon? It's really burning
well, and
different
it is
now.
blowing
Let me see
his
your-
way as well, so he's now getting the full effect of it
effects, yeah.
because the wind is blowing back from east to west now.
Yeah.
So.
The whiskey's good. It's definitely young. It's a new brand. This Brothers Bond also comes in a cast strength, and it said soon they'll be releasing a rye. So you can look for 3 different variations from these guys soon. But $37 price point. It's not super premium. It's highly approachable for most people. 80 proof is really approachable for most people.
Yeah.
I like what's going on there at such a low proof. I think this is something, you critique the first few sips, and then the rest of this bottle probably disappears.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yes,
Totally.
100%.
This is one of those that you could drink the whole bottle tonight.
Well, half of it's gone already. If
Yeah.
we're, viewing it from this side here as well. But go ahead. So.
So we always rate this out of a 10. We didn't tell you that yet.
Okay, no.
You can use decimals. You can use as many as you want.
I'm a virgin to the show. I thank you for having me on, by the way. But
Yesterday I gave the Blade and Bow a 9.
Mm-hmm.
wow,
So I'm
very
trying to.
And I gave it a 9
Yeah.
too, which
Whoa.
averaged out to 9.1
Yeah.
incredible.
because of
that was the proof, right?
was it the proof? It was the proof.
Yeah.
91.
Mhm.
That's right. Wasn't there something else for the 9.1?
That's
No,
high
it was the proof.
expectations.
So I'm thinking about that. This is not the 9 level that Blade and Bow was at.
No.
I'm probably gonna give this like 7.5.
Yeah.
Total package all in. I'm really happy with it.
Well, total package, we haven't had the pizza yet, and that's why I drove an hour and 52 minutes to come see my lovely cousin and her husband. And
So what do you think about the bourbon, Michael? What would you rate the bourbon? Don's got a 7.5 on it.
I would go a little bit higher than that, just because I'm not a normal bourbon drinker, as you guys know. I drink beer primarily, but one of the keys I will say is pairing it with the cigar,
Mhm.
because that just brings out 2 totally different flavors and pairing points. But
So you got to rate the whiskey, and then you and Anthony are going to rate the pairing of the 2.
I was looking at a 8.2,
Cool.
but with them both together.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know that's a lot of pressure to be able to do one.
Now you gotta
I mean,
separate
I'm a
them.
virgin for the show, first time.
Right.
Separate it. Well,
Putting
okay.
you on the spot there.
7.9 then, and then paired together, I'd say an 8.2. I mean, I'm
8.2
very
together.
satisfied. I could drink this on a daily basis and
Yeah.
smoke this on a daily basis.
So I would think that for the price, there are many other bourbons that I would put on the shelf at the bar before this. But it is a nice one to ease into.
Yeah.
So for those starters, those people that are starting
Virgin
to get
like me,
into
yes.
a Blanton's or an Angel's Envy or something. Angel's Envy is a little closer to the price point and to the proof. What's Angel's Envy?
I think it's like 94.
Is it that high?
Yeah.
I thought it was in the mid 80s, but it's a real smooth bourbon nonetheless,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But this would definitely be a good starter for people that are just getting in to drinking bourbons.
86.6.
86.6. Okay, yeah. So this is still well under Angel's Envy.
Mhm.
But Angel's Envy is a good one to step into, right? Because it's not that tough.
You know, if people are looking for recommendations just starting out, the first thing I point them to is Basil Hayden, and that's at 80.
Yeah.
Probably the most agreeable good bourbon at 80 proof to start into. And then most starters also love Woodford Reserve's Double Oaks. And Woodford's thing is coming in at 84 proof every time. So pretty similar to that, just with a lot less barrel character than your Double Oak, but maybe closer to just regular old Woodford bourbon.
I think I would probably put this on the shelf up in the cigar lounge. I think it would fit up in the cigar lounge. I don't think it would fit in the bar, to be honest with you. Not for the price point.
Yeah, it's got some different flavors, some more unique flavors than a lot of the other things that are going to be up there. So,
and it pairs well with the cigar. It's going to pair well with a lot of different cigars. You know, I'm gonna rate this like a 7.2.
Okay.
I think it's the low sevens. I could see people sitting around and drinking it for the price point, though, without a doubt. And the pairing, I'm going to agree with Michael. It brings it up. When you pair it with a cigar, it actually accentuates the flavors of both of these, the cigar and the bourbon. And I think we could pick a better cigar to go with this. And a lot of people like the Drew Estates. This is a great bourbon to go all out Drew Estate on. Nice. And it would pull the flavor of the cigar out a lot better, even more. So, you know, I'm going to rate the pairing. I don't think I'm going to give it an 8, but I'm going to give it a 7.9
it's
for the pairing. Yeah. I think we could do better on the cigar and go a little more fruitier and flavorful on the cigar with this bourbon.
Well, I will say no complaints here from 88 degrees South Florida, palm trees.
I was waiting for you
bourbon,
to say 98 degrees.
Well, it'll be that tomorrow. You know, we'll burn this bald head a little bit more.
Nice.
But, good stuff.
Yeah, this is really good stuff. I like it. So listen, last time I was over in Belle Glade, we were talking about this earlier tonight. They light the sugarcane fields on fire. And we went driving down all these crazy roads,
dirt roads,
to get
canals on each side.
Yep, to this spot. And we get there, we get out, and this guy comes running out of his house with a fucking gun.
Yes.
And Michael even said, listen, don't go driving around on people's property because they take it serious.
Yes, they do.
And I just looked at him, I waved, and he's like walking at me. We hop in the car, we drive to the neighbor's yard, and we walk around the back. And we go out to see this raging sugarcane fire.
Yes.
And the fire, you could hear the cane burning. It's the craziest, intense sound. And it stays so contained. It's just amazing.
It's a science those guys have it down to, and you know they call it big sugar down here. But we were talking also earlier about hurricanes, you know, and the series of hurricanes. And I know you guys went down to Fort Myers Beach and saw the devastation and what Mother Nature can deal out. And it's pretty intense, man.
So listen, Michael, you've been through a couple of hurricanes at your
Yes,
house.
Yes.
You were telling us a story about hiding underneath the steps like a little crying
Drinking
baby,
bourbon.
drinking bourbon.
I didn't know what kind it was and didn't fucking rate it then and didn't care to rate it.
Yeah.
I needed to go to
So I'd
safe
go
zone.
out.
Yeah. Exactly.
But listen, have you ever had a 2x4 like stuck in your wall or something
Yeah,
during
yeah.
a hurricane?
So we live on the southern tip of Lake Okeechobee. So when you look at the map of Florida, you have the big lake down towards Miami, Orlando, Kissimmee, coming down into Palm Beach County, the Buck, where we live at. And there's a Herbert Hoover dike that runs around the entire width of Lake Okeechobee. And during the height of the '05 hurricanes, water came up 3/4 of the way up this massive, 30-foot hill that surrounds the entire community. And it was scary. It was intense, but you put it in God's hands when it's like that, because when you're when you're underneath the staircase at 8 a.m. drinking liquor and praying to God that you survive, it's in God's hands at that point. But it's intense. Mother Nature
Wow.
is nothing to mess with.
No, not at all.
When you look around at like a place like this, and we're in God's country as far as we feel, they come down from cold country where it's freezing ass cold, and you come down here to what we live in each and every day, 365 days a year. We live in paradise.
Mhm.
But even paradise sometimes gets evil eye thrown at it.
No doubt.
And you're just blessed. You're blessed.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
everything happens for a reason in our life and in our world. And, we're very, very fortunate. And I'm fortunate to be here with these guys tonight. I just,
Salute. Cheers.
yeah, no,
Glad to have you.
Cheers.
family is so special. And everybody knows that Anthony and Amber, our family's not that big. And we're just, it's precious.
Yeah.
Life is precious. And then, good stuff.
So what is the date right now?
It is the 3/22/23. It's Wednesday.
3/22/23.
St. Patrick's Day was a few days ago. You don't remember that.
No,
because
I don't.
Y'all were too crazy at
Foggy
your place.
brain on that one.
Yeah, that's okay.
It was all right. It was all right.
That's all right.
So I think we have a couple more shows when we get back, and then we're gonna do one from the draft.
Yeah.
And every year at the draft, we get to meet a couple pretty. We work with the greatest crew ever. These guys are all, and girls are all top notch. We have a great time every time we go to see them. It's in Kansas City this year.
Nice.
We're going to do a remote cigar pairing with Don in Williamsport with somebody, and then us in Kansas City. And we'll probably do a couple of them because we're out there for almost 2 weeks.
Okay.
And
During
we'll
the
do
NFL draft.
Yep. So we'll do one with a couple of the people that I work with out there, which is going to be a blast. And then I'll try to pick somebody else up. And I always
I've
like
got
we
somebody
meet a
for
lot
you
of
to pick
people
up.
out in Kansas City.
I've got somebody for you to pick up. It's one of my former football players.
Is he going out to the draft? Is he getting drafted?
He has a player, somebody he's representing in the draft this year.
What team did he play for?
So Marcus St. Pierre played for Army, West Point. So did his little brother. And after Marcus got he went to West Point on a full scholarship, played strong safety for 4 years, graduated, served our country for 4 years, went to University of Alabama Law School on a full college scholarship, University of Alabama, through the GI Bill.
This is the guy we want on the show. You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
And then he was the only Haitian black lawyer in an all-white law firm in Jacksonville.
Wow.
And they loved him. Anyhow, he moved to a law firm in Miami recently, started the sports agency inside of the law firm.
Cool.
And it usually takes 5, 6, 7 years to develop a free agent to be able to transfer. In the first year, he has 3 kids in the NFL draft this year. And the one kid at Pro Day Saturday, incredible.
That's
So
great.
We'll get Marcuson to come on your show.
That would be great.
Absolutely.
And we'll take a couple of them to come on. We have a special place in our heart for the Georgia Bulldogs. And God bless them. They went through the trenches here the past couple months, unfortunately. And we're really sorry about everything that happened. But next year we're hoping to see Kendall out there at the draft. And we'll be there with him. He'll be on the show. This year, they took our cigars that we bought them onto the field in the locker room. They were
Nice.
smoking our cigars.
Wow,
It was a great time.
Wow.
There should still be a couple Georgia Bulldogs that are there for the draft.
Definitely.
Um,
Stetson
so
goes this year.
yeah, but we'd love to have him on.
He would
Hook
be
us
honored
up. That'd
too.
be
I
great.
will look you up.
We will have a good time. We'll do it before or after. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be out there the whole time, and I'll actually be welcoming him into the lounge where he goes.
Nice.
So they don't have a red carpet this year, which is what I do, but we're going to do their whole entrance there. So it should be pretty cool.
He'd be honored.
We're going to have fun with this one, Don.
Absolutely.
I wish you could come out and just join
me
us
too.
for it, though. Maybe when it's on the East Coast next time,
that'd be good.
somewhere closer to home. But I think that's it. We're gonna go and kill this bottle for sure tonight, without a doubt.
And enjoy the horrible weather we're having right now.
It's so bad.
I mean,
It's this 108-degree weather is just crazy. Actually, that would be too hot. So we'll stick with 98.
Yes.
The back label here says, "Life is about experiences. We crafted this hand-selected bourbon in hopes that you may strengthen bonds, both new and old. Reminisce, share, and enjoy all that it has to offer." So that's what we're going to do.
It's kind of like a nice bonding bottle.
Good stuff right there.
Amen. I agree.
Cheers.
Salute.
Good
Cheers.
stuff. Thank
See you guys. Thanks for
having
watching.
me.